My peoples, my peoples. Welcome to Box Center, your favorite boxers, favorite boxing show. Salute to everybody tuning in. What's the deal, my peoples? Damn, yo, listen, I'm gonna tell you guys something. You guys got issues, cause Sunday in the morning, and y'all want to be talking boxing, y'all got issues. Y'all got some type of boxing addiction going on over here. JJ's in the house. Salute my boy, my J, Toy Mafia in the building. MS, what is the deal? Unlaced side, John Parham. My peoples, y'all have a boxing addiction because on a Sunday morning, y'all for real? Nah. We don't have to talk boxing, but y'all got issues. John Barrow. So what you got? So my guy, it's looking like, and you probably already seen it. Ryan Garcia. I got the wrong image. Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios. Looks like it's going down. And if it is going down, whoa, that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a good fight. Now, what's gonna happen with Tank Davis versus Jake Paul? I'm gonna tell you right now, my expectations, and I said it before, on multiple occasions, John Parham, you've been there. You know I said it. I don't think Jake Paul versus Tank Davis is gonna happen. I think that fight is gonna get canceled. And right now, MVP Promotion says that they're investigating it. They're looking into it, right? And that they won't be commenting any further. Here's the reason why I say this fight is getting canceled. At this point, Jake Paul is a guy who has a squeaky clean image. We've never seen him get in trouble, never seen him involved in any type of controversy. So based off of that, I'm like, nah. I can't see Jake Paul wanting to. And companies do this all the time. They don't wait to find out, guilty or innocent. They simply say, nah. We don't want to answer questions about this. We've seen it. It's not just boxers. If you think about, any type of celebrity, it could be an actor, it could be a rapper, it could be anything. And if there's allegations against them of this subject, it's gonna go down like that. So what I'm expecting is for Jake Paul. Watch, my peoples. Jay Stradamus, y'all know. Watch what's gonna happen. Jake Paul's gonna pull out. He's gonna get a new opponent, and they're gonna distance themselves. They're gonna be like, "Look, we don't know what's happening over there." They're gonna avoid questions because that's the reason why I'm telling you they're gonna pull out. Jake Paul doesn't want to be in a press conference and be asked about that, and he doesn't want his fighters to be an oppressor and be asked, "Oh, your boss is gonna fight this person who's involved in this. What do you think?" They don't want none of that smoke, my people. These big companies, I've seen how they move for years. Jake Paul, MVP Promotions, Netflix, all of them. Look, they haven't said it. If you look at it, they made a politically correct statement. Oh, look, we're investigating it, and we support women, and we won't be commenting any further, and we'll be, you know, talking about it in the future or whatever. So that's a politically correct statement to make. Eventually, what they're gonna do is the same thing. They're gonna say, "We're moving on with another opponent. We don't know about this matter. Let it play out as it will. We won't comment no further." So the whole point of that is that they don't want to have to answer questions about that situation. If you stay, if you stay on for the fight, guess what? Jake Paul, Amanda Serrano, and everybody involved in MVP will have to answer about that situation for the next couple of weeks. And they don't want that smoke. Ernest Morales, good outlook. Appreciate it, my brother. There's somebody else who didn't like it. He was like, L, L, L. And I get that. Look, Tank Davis is a very popular fighter. He's going to have people who are going to say, don't talk about this because he's not guilty. And you shouldn't talk about it. But, you know, That's just people who are, hardcore fans. The reality is that Tank Davis is one of the most important boxers in the game. Potentially fumbled the biggest bag of his career, and it's involving a controversy. Well, obviously, people's gonna talk about it. Every single platform is gonna talk about it. Like, that's crazy. And then people's gonna give their opinion. If you don't like my opinion, hey, what can I tell you? But I will say, soon I expect Jake Paul or MVP to make an announcement very soon about this. And I'm just gonna remind you guys, MVP Promotions is built on women's boxing. Built. Let's think about that. Amanda Serrano is the first fighter, the first champion who was signed to them. John Parham, Ryan pissed at Oscar. He's got to be, man, because it's between, if he has the option to fight between Jake Paul and Mario Barrios, it's like, damn, Mario Barrios for the title, Jake Paul for a different kind of bag. So, but he signed with Golden Boy, who don't hold his own cards. And I tell you what, at the end of the day, Ryan Garcia is a guy who has been wanting to accomplish, who has been wanting to become a world champion. So I don't know. I don't know that he's really or actually mad at at Oscar De La Hoya. Maybe he does want to get that title because let's face it, Ryan Garcia is a guy who has money. He got a lot of money. I'm not saying that he doesn't want to get 30, $40 million, and he's gonna get a nice bag against Mario Barrios too. So no, I don't. I like that fight better, obviously. Personally, myself, I like that fight better. JJ's in there. Come on in, Jay Smith. I'm here. Let's go Dodgers with the World Series. The LA Dodgers. Listen, if if Jake Paul does cancel with Tank Davis, if that fight doesn't happen, what can we expect? What can we expect? Number one for Jake Paul, who is he actually? Because the name Berlanga's name been floated around, but I don't know. I haven't heard anyone say that that's real. Anyone within boxing. But who would they replace him with? I'm guessing they probably talking to multiple fighters. And and then what's next for Tank? Because if he fumbled his bag, I don't think there's another YouTuber out there or another guy who can give him an exhibition fight and have him make that type of money. Does that mean he go back to boxing? Does that mean he's potentially or at least explores the possibility of Lamar Roach? Because remember, the Lamar Roach rematch, everybody said that didn't happen because he was getting this bag. So should Tank Davis go back and explore that rematch? Yeah, tell me, my peoples. I need answers. I need answers. So those who told me, hey, look, Tank Davis not scared of Lamar Roach. He just trying to get that bag. Cool. Cool story. I'll rock with it. But all I'm saying is, if you told me that Tank Davis was not gonna fight Lamar Roach because he was getting this huge bag with Jake Paul, well, if this falls through, should he go back and fight Lamar Roach? I think that's a legitimate question to ask. JJ said that Tank better thank God if he gets any bag at this point. No, no, listen. This is gonna slow down some things, But he's gonna get the bag regardless. I guarantee you. If Tank Davis announced a new fight date 3 months from now, 2 months from now, wherever, whenever, and it's gonna be with a boxer, he's gonna make money, and it's gonna sell, and people are gonna be tuning in. The difference is that now he's gonna have another level of scrutiny. People are watching him closely. People are seeing what else. Because again, the more you're involved in a similar situation, the more people start going on that other side of that group that believes that it's true that you're doing something wrong. So that group of people that's defend you, that's like, no, you don't have proof, you don't have evidence, we don't really know. Little by little, people in that group start going to the other side, like, damn, again, okay, now wait a minute, I don't know what's going on over here. And when you start to see yourself involving in that situation, a lot of doors close. So, Tank Davis, he's gonna have a hard time having endorsement deals. For example, brands are not gonna wanna, and that's what people like hardcore fans. They don't understand that brands, they don't want to associate themselves with you based on allegations alone. They don't care that you was found guilty or that you was found not guilty. They don't care about that. If those allegations are floating around your name, they don't want to hear it. They out of it. So Tank is gonna have a hard time getting stuff like that done. But when he fights, people are gonna be tuning in. You gotta understand, personal is different than what happens inside the ring. So there's a good chance that he did fumble the Jake Paul bag, but that does not mean that when Tank Davis announced that he's gonna fight somebody, that we're not gonna tune in. That people not gonna watch the fight. He's still gonna sell like crazy. John Parham. I like to see Ward step in personally. I'd like to see Ward step in. I would love that. I just don't think Jake Paul fights a guy like that. Because even though Ward is retired, but he's in very good shape, and you know that he retired young. So I don't think I don't think Jake Paul wants that type of action. Would love to see it though. I tell you what. But I'm interested in seeing. That's why I said yesterday, there's a silver lining over here. And you know what's the silver lining? That if Tank Davis is not gonna get this huge bag that everybody was saying he was gonna get, that everybody thought he was gonna get, right? If he's not gonna get that bag, then does that mean he's gonna go back to fighting boxers and he's gonna make a few big fights to make big money? Because remember, what everybody was saying is that, well, Tank Davis is not gonna fight Lamar Roach because he's gonna get the bag, right? So now that he's not gonna get that bag, what next? What next if he wants to retire? Ernest Morales. Tank been looking big. He ain't coming back to 135. I mean, it's not about that he's that because he's looking big, Ernest Morales, because you gotta remember, he had already said that he was either gonna fight Manny Pacquiao or or move up to 140. So he wasn't coming back to 135 regardless, my guy. He was struggling. I promise you, he was struggling to make that 135. At 30 years old, that's the weight teenagers is walking around. Zell, Tank needs to focus on his mental health instead of boxing. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. If and I think he is, man, because Tank been making millions of dollars for a long time. So you gotta be financially stable. So being financially stable, you can afford the best help money can buy. Get help. Yeah, look how things are. So yesterday I said that, and somebody jumped in. Oh, you hating on Tank? He don't need no help. Why you hating? You don't have proof of anything. It's like, man, shut the hell up. Shut up. JJ's in the house. 14 people in the building, only 8 likes, man. Listen, I have to buy that unicycle. I told you, my G. Have you heard that? Who let boxing turn into a circus? It's not like when we fought the toughest on the neighborhood, so to speak. The thing is that Jake Paul was able to carve his own lane, made it successful. Then you saw, the KSIs and the Soul Poppies and all these people. So they carved a lane because they showed that there was a gap in boxing. They were able to carve a lane because the best was not fighting the best. And people frustrated with that. And they was like, you know what, you frustrated, we're gonna give you some entertaining boxing match. We're gonna give you Jake Paul is one of the best trolls in history. You think he really believed that he's one of the best fighters in the world? Hell no. He lost to Tommy Fury. He don't believe that, but he says that I'm the best and I'm gonna beat this guy and I'm gonna be a world champion. He says that because he knows fans are gonna get pissed off and they're gonna react. They're gonna comment. They're gonna post about it. They're gonna. So he's a master at getting a reaction from boxing fans, and he's a successful businessman and a successful entertainer because of it. Um, and I'm gonna say this, my people, they still haven't announced what MVP is gonna do. They haven't announced that Tank Davis and Jake Paul is being canceled. The last announcement from them is that they're investigating. That's it. But I'm telling you, what that investigation really involves is them having enough time to find another opponent, announce another opponent, and distance themselves from this situation by saying, we don't know about that situation, but we'll let it sort itself out, let the system just, let it, let the innocent till proven guilty, which would be the right way to go as well. And that's it. We have no further comment. They're gonna do something like that. Why? Because they don't want to have to answer questions about that subject. JJ's in the house. Remember, Jay Smith, we talked about men's mental health and health. Get help if you need. If everyone doesn't mean that you're not a man. When you need help, God bless everyone. Yes, sir. That's the thing that for men, it's a lot harder to get help when it comes to mental health because you're perceived as weak. You're perceived as all type of different stuff. And the reality is that the overwhelming majority of men go through mental health situations at some point in their life or even multiple times in their life, but they can't express it because, well, if I say something, you know, I'm not a real man. So it's tough to deal with. But here's the problem: we can't use mental health to excuse a behavior, right? And there's people who want to do that. So I agree that Tank need help, 100%. But him needing help doesn't excuse if he is guilty to have done what those women say he did, then that is not an excuse. He still has to be held accountable for it. So people tend to not want to hold celebrities accountable by focusing on things that they're dealing with. Oh well, he's just not right in the head. Okay, he's not right in the head, but a lot of people not right in the head. They're not going around doing the same thing. Eric Gomez. I have a feeling Jake is also behind it to mess up the fight. You see, Eric, you're looking for conspiracy. Tank has been involved with women with those type of situations before Jake Paul was even around. You think Jake Paul was, uh, involved when Tank Davis dragged the girl outside of the basketball court and dragged her out to the back? You think Jake Paul was involved somehow? Because they didn't even know each other back then. So you think somehow Jake Paul was involved in that too? Like for you to accuse Jake Paul of getting Tank Davis involved in a legal issue, it's wicked. It's actually wicked stuff. Like, I can't believe that you would make up something like that, Eric. Like, oh wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I, I hit Eric by mistake. I didn't mean to hide him. Hold on, Eric. I didn't mean to hide you by mistake. Hit you by mistake, Eric. But you, but you need a 24-hour timeout for saying such stupid thing. You know, something that stupid deserves a timeout. So 24 hours for you. Tomorrow when you come back, don't say something that stupid, man. Don't make stuff up like that. To say that Jake Paul is behind it and he got a girl to say that Tank kidnapped her, beat her, and all of that. Jake Paul's behind that to make those allegations. That's a real stupid allegation to make up Eric Gomes. Come back tomorrow with something not stupid. What are we doing? What are we doing over here? JJ's in the house. Get the F out of here. Come on, my G. You know I don't go for that. You know I don't go for that. Don't come over here with that stupid stuff. You know me enough. And if you don't know me, you get to know me. Pack it up. Gotta pack it up. Come back tomorrow with something not stupid. John Parham, just think about it. It's an easy payday for a female to mess with Tank and try pushing his buttons to get a reaction. I mean that, but John, that's a favorable assumption that you're making, right? Favorable assumption, but it's hard to make a favorable assumption because are you making that assumption about all these females or just this? That's a problem, John Parham. If this was the only one, I would say, oh, but it's five different females. That's what you're saying that they're all looking for a payday. I don't know, John. That doesn't really add up to me. And I'm not saying Tank is innocent or guilty. I don't know, but you know the saying, John, where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm pretty sure you heard it. So when there's all these different people, I don't know. I don't know. I, you think that his actions have made him a target, but what actions have made him a target? What have been his actions? Or how about this, John? I'll ask you, right? I'm pretty sure you saw the video of Tank Davis dragging the girl off the basketball court. And when he did that in front of a crowd, in front of a lot of people, cameras and everything. Grabbed her by the neck, by here, dragged her off the court, right? When he took her to the back, a lot of people chased them. Yo, what's going on? A lot of people chased them to the back. Yo, chill. Now, while they was in the back in front of cameras, Tank Davis proceeded to then keep dragging her into a separate room where the door was closed and nobody could see where they went. So I ask you, John Parham, and this is an honest question. What do you think Tank Davis did after dragging that young lady into an area that nobody can see them? What do you think about that, John? What do you think that he did to that young lady? I'd like to, you see, because you're making a favorable assumption, right? That oh, women targeting him and looking to make a bag, and but I'm talking about those are assumptions, right? I'm talking about a video that we saw that there's video evidence of the videos on YouTube right now, so you can go see it. So, what's your take on what Tank Davis did once he dragged that girl outside of the view of the cameras in the public? On late, he took her out for lunch. John Parham, exactly. Now look at it this way: you don't think these females knew about his action, but still chose to mess with him? But John, you didn't really answer my question, my G. What happened? That sounded like you thought. I'm asking you, what do you think that he did once he had her outside of public view? John Parham, I'm sure he didn't want people to see. I'm sure he didn't want them to see. That's exactly why he dragged her out. And he seemed very angry. But you still haven't answered, John Parham. What do you think he did with that young lady once he had her when nobody could see? What is your opinion? I'd like to see a favorable assumption because you're going the favorable assumption route, right? What do you think he did? You think he wanted to maybe read her the Quran privately or give her some investment advice privately? John Parham, I agree with what you're saying. He definitely didn't play Twister. Jay Smith in the building. Run them fanboys out the arena, bro. So you see where I'm going with it though. Like we have evidence of certain behavior. So guilty or not, the court of public opinion has seen this. And all I'm saying, take a look, take a look at what we've already seen on camera, what we've already seen happening, versus how many women have said the same things have happened, and make of it with what you will. Make of it what you will. So if you're making a favorable assumption, that's okay. But an unfavorable assumption seems more logical at this point because of the behavior that we've already seen. So if somebody says, "Oh well, you know what? I think he did it," that's what I think. It's hard to say, "Oh my God, why would you think that?" That doesn't make sense because it actually does. Give me a second. My peoples, give me a second. My son want to play video games, so I'm gonna take a 1 minute commercial break to put his video game on. The robot one? I'll be right back, my people. Yo no quiero ya lo que tiene su color rojo. Lo que huele le batalla a los niños también. Hold on. Let's go. John Parham. Tank wasn't the first and won't be the last, unfortunately. He better off just sticking to himself. I know John Parham, but when you say he's not the first and won't be the last, he's the one that's dealing with the situation right now. When you say not the first and not the last, it's like you want to draw attention elsewhere. Like you want to take away the attention away from him. He's the one that's dealing with it right now, my brother. He's the one that's this close to possibly fumbling the biggest bag of his career. It's not about all of those that did it before, all of those that's going to do it in the future. JJ's in the house. Jay Smith. We'll be right back. You know it. You know it. Get him the F out of here promotions. John Parham, it could be. I think his whole circle needs to be changed. That's a fact. That's a look. I'm gonna tell you like this, John. The people who defend Tank Davis at all costs, those are the enablers. Those are the ones that allow him to continue to behave that way because it gets normalized. And trust me, and this is something that's going to make perfect sense the moment you hear it. When a man grabs a woman in front of her and drag her out like that in front of everybody, and then backstage in front of everybody still drag her out. When a man do that, bro, he already felt comfortable. You have no idea already what he doing privately. I do. I understand because I know people like that. I've met people like that. So we could act like we don't know, but I know how Tank get down with the ladies. I know how he do. I met people. I'm gonna put it to you like this, y'all. I met people that they sitting down and they sitting down right there with their shorty, and it's like you can't speak unless spoken to. Don't be talking. Don't be giving no opinions. You talk. You do what I say when I say how I say. If not, you get smacked up. I know them dudes. I know. I seen it. I know how that go. And look, when I'm gonna give you the process. I'm gonna give you the process. Hold on, my peoples. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Let me grab something real quick for my son. My peoples, my peoples, we back in action. Jason, exactly, John. You're as good as your friend circle. You need to regroup to be better. And that goes for everyone in life. That's a fact, my people. That is a fact. If all you have is people around you, and I'm gonna tell you what's the problem. Not just with Tank. It's not just with Tank. It's with a lot of athletes who come from nothing and and then start getting a lot of money. I'm gonna tell you what happens, and that's what happened with Broner too. They surround themselves with everybody who's gonna say yes to everything. Everybody who's gonna be down with everything. So if you're in the crew and you're like, nah, B, I don't think it should be like that, you out of there. We ain't rocking with you. You out the clique. So they surround themselves with everybody who celebrate everything they do, laugh at every joke that they tell, and it's like I can do no wrong because everybody that's with me is gonna rock with me, and if they need to hide stuff from me, if they need to cover stuff from me, they're just gonna do it. That's part of the show. That's part of the game. But guess what? The public is not down with you. Everybody around is not down with you. That's the issue. So by the time, look, I was gonna tell you guys the process earlier, right? I'm gonna tell you guys the process now of guys that be doing that kind of thing. The first time, it's always privately, it's always on the low, and nobody knows. Bro, by the time that a dude beat up a chick in public, that means privately he done already whooped her ass 50 times, and he already feel comfortable enough with doing it publicly. By the time that Tank dragged this chick off the court, dragged her to the back and did all that, he done already whoop ass privately a bunch of times. And I'm just telling you that because I've seen the behavior. I know people, I've met people, I grew up and seen people, how they act when it comes to that part of it. So, yes, he do need help. He got anger issues. There's something that's affecting him mentally that is causing these anger issues and these outbursts. You don't have, why we act like we don't know the saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. We know it. We all know the saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. How many different women have already said, yo, this happened? Five, six? So you can only defend so much, defend, until you're like, yeah, something going on. Yeah, something's right about this investigation, or about what these women are saying. They're all saying the same thing and being involved in the same situation. Now, I will tell you what though, and I said it. This could be the silver lining. Tank Davis was possibly going to retire from boxing. That's something that's been floated around. And if he's not going to get this super back from Jake Paul, we might end up seeing Tank Davis fight the names that we thought we was never going to see him fight, because he's trying to get the biggest bags, right? And he's not going to get the most money with certain fighters. So I'm interested in seeing what's next for Tank Davis. How is he going to bounce back from this situation? And then Jake Paul, who's going to be his next opponent? Come on now. 37 Breezy. Do you see Oscar blocking the Ryan Paul fight? That's crazy. But I will say this. If Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios have been going back and forth trying to make their fight, then I wouldn't see Oscar as blocking it. I would see Oscar like, wait a minute, your shit fell through. You want to now take away our shit that we got going on? So it looks to me like Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios have been in the works. They had already been exchanging contracts, and boom, this thing happened with Tank Davis and Jake Paul. So Jake Paul team, they're obviously on scramble mode. They're trying to get an opponent as soon as possible. I'm telling you, my peoples, you see how Jake Paul and his team said, MVP said they're investigating the Tank situation and they won't be commenting any further. Well, guess what? That investigation is simply them buying themselves time to find an opponent as soon as possible. The next announcement from them is going to be that they moved on for somebody else. They don't really know what's going on over here. Allow the legal situation to play itself out, but they're over here now. Watch, that's how they're going to do something. Jay is in the house. When there is smoke, there is fire. I'm telling you, man. Where there is smoke, there is fire. So it's only so many amount of times that you could say, oh, well, there's no proof. But where there's no proof, it's only so many amount of times that you can say that, or that you can take that route. And trust me, I know a lot of people taking that route on Tank Davis. Like, nah, he got problems, and we don't really know. And maybe it's her fault. Maybe they pushed him to do it. John Parham, Oscar hoping Dev beats Brian so he can get a rematch for a decent bag. That's a good fight. That's a good fight. Look, the rematch versus Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, it'll be very much anticipated if they agree to fight. People want to see how, especially they'll be fighting at welterweight. So people want to see how that fight plays out. Flip, Tan has gotten a lot of comparisons to Mike Tyson. Let that sink in. He needs help if he's willing to be helped. Man, listen. Hopefully, because I know Tank got money. He been making millions of dollars for years, so he got money. So hopefully he get the help he needs. That's simple. Problem is that I'm gonna tell you what's the problem, Flip. When somebody needs help, but nobody hold them accountable because they need help, they only keep getting worse. They only keep getting worse and doing worse. Because, oh well, I need help. I could do whatever I want. Do me. I need help. That's the problem. And society in general has to understand that somebody need help doesn't excuse the behavior. You still got to hold them accountable. So if you only talk about he need help, he need help, he need help, but you don't say nothing about the stuff he doing, then to him, what he's doing is not a problem because you're not addressing it. You're only focusing on he need help. So unknowingly, you become an enabler. Flip. If he got 10 people around him and all they do is say he need help, or he got his enablers because they not addressing what he's doing. They not holding him accountable for what he's doing. You not holding him accountable for what he's doing. Your focus, he need help. Mike Tyson was able to change his life around when he started being held accountable. When he started having legal issues, when he started having more and more problems, when he bottomed out because everybody was holding him accountable. That's why he was able to bounce back and become the businessman that he's today. But as long as you got a bunch of people around you that all they know how to say is that you need help and don't hold you accountable for anything that you're doing, your ass is cooked because you don't think you need to change nothing. You don't think you need to change. You don't think what you're doing is wrong. So the he need help route gotta come with something else, and it's called accountability. Gotta have that too. Without accountability, ain't nothing changing. MS, it's time for Canelo versus Jake Paul. That fight been done, marinated after the Bud loss. I don't know. I mean, I'm not interested in any fight involving Jake Paul. I don't know how you came up with that. John Parham, MS, that would take too long due to Canelo surgery, but I don't know how somebody could even seriously say that. JJ Sendejas, God bless you, Jay Smith, and the Box Center family. I have to go. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you, man. Enjoy. Bam. John Parham. Maybe we can get Showbiz versus Jake. Bro been working out and hitting the back. Okay, that's a good one. But Showbiz, nah, I think Showbiz gonna get pummeled by Jake. That's not a fair fight. It's a funny fight, but it's not a fair fight, man. Showbiz will get pummeled brutally. You don't understand? He ain't never boxed a damn now, but he didn't come up boxing. So he not ready for that Jake Paul smoke. He getting pummeled. Flip. I don't think you understand what I'm saying. But what you're missing is that a lot of people in the circle may be scared to tell him that he needs help because you may kick them out the circle. No, Flip, listen, what you're saying is 100% factual. But again, you're reinforcing my point, Flip. All you keep saying is that he need help, but you don't hold him accountable for what he's done. You don't talk about the allegations. You don't talk about if it's true he needs to go to jail. You don't talk about if it's true he needs to be held accountable by the legal system. You don't talk about that. You should not put your hands on women if these things are true. Instead, he need help. He need help. He need help. All you keep saying is that he need help. You yourself, Flip, don't hold him accountable for what he seems to have been doing over and over and over because these are the allegations that we keep seeing. So you keep focusing and targeting on the help he needs, but you're not holding him accountable for the actions that he's doing, that he seems to be doing, or for the allegations that keep hovering around his head. At what point do you say, yo, you wrong, you can't be doing that? Flip. That's what holding somebody accountable looks like. You see? So I'm telling you, you're not holding him accountable. You're not saying, yo, he's wrong. He can't be doing that. He got to not saying any of that. You're just targeting he needs help. And he surround himself with people that do exactly what you do, my guy. They don't talk about what he's actually doing. They focus on the help he needs. Yo, you need help, bro. There's people telling him he need help. He himself say he need help. That's not accountability, my guy. You know what accountability looks like, Flip? When you talk about what he's actually alleged to have done and the consequences that he needs to receive for what he has done. That's what accountability looks like. Not the help that he needs. Because think about this, Flip. If he get arrested and he go to court, that judge looking at him, is he looking to hold him accountable and make him pay for his crime? Or he's looking at, well, you need help. Let me see how I can help you. No, he's gonna hold them accountable. So, to keep focusing on, well, he need help. Of course he need help. But at what point do you say, what are the consequences of those actions? If he don't got nobody talking consequences and just talking about help, that's an issue. That feeds into what he does. That's the thing. You gotta hold people accountable for the things that they do wrong, as opposed to just focus on they need help. Flip, I told you earlier that any man that has, but we're not talking about any man. We're talking about Tank Davis. You see, that's the problem. We're not talking about any man. We're talking about Tank Davis. And when you specifically talk about Tank, he need help. He need help. And you put Flip 50 paragraphs this size about how Tank need help. And then all you said to hold him accountable, well, any man, one little line about any man should be. What are you talking about? That's not how you hold somebody. You don't hold Tank Davis about what any man should go Davis and stop the Bush. That's he need help. My nigga, you don't need help. You need somebody in your life that tell you, yo, you going to jail. You keep putting your hands on women, you going to jail. You need a judge to see you and send you to a program. You need one of them chicks to speak out and send your ass to jail for 6 months, so that you could hit rock bottom in jail for 6 months, and then understand what you're doing and change and actually change your life around. You see, that's what accountability looks like, Flip. When you deal with consequences, when there's no consequences, when there's just people like you talking about, oh, he just need help. He's not good in the head. He gonna keep doing exactly what he's doing. Almost, we almost finished. Ramirez, Jay Smith, what do you think on the Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios fight? That's a good fight, bro. That's a real good fight. I don't know how it's gonna play out. I don't know who's gonna. I'm gonna make a prediction, but I'm not ready to make it because that's a real competitive fight. That's a real competitive fight, bro. The boxing advisor. First of all, we all got to know that he's guilty of beating women, because sometimes when you get this type of reputation, women will hold that against you and start making false allegations. So, boxing advisor, we don't know what he's guilty of and what he's not guilty of. That is a fact. But boxing advisor, that video is out there of Tank Davis grabbing a girl by her neck and her shirt and dragging her off the basketball court. Then in the back, dragging her out to a private room. So, I could ask you what you think he dragged her out of the public view for. Or I could even tell you, when a man does that in front of a crowd, in an arena, in front of everybody, in front of camera, you feel real comfortable with putting hands on a woman in front of everybody. That can all lead us to make our own assumptions about how Tank Davis moved when it comes to the women, right? But when you have a lot of different women making these allegations, and we see what we seen, it's hard to make those positive assumptions. Oh, it's just the women. It's just the women that are. It gets harder and harder to do it, my brother. So you got to think about that. The boxing advisor. How many times can you do that? How many times can this happen? You say, no, 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 no. It's just that women. They be the ones. It's only so many times that it can happen, and you can hold on to that. No, sir, the fight's still happening. Oh yeah, this clickbait. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. This is clickbait. It's being reported that MVP is exploring other options. What's clickbait about reporting the facts? Those are the facts. Now, where did you get that the fight is still happening? You must be a tankomaniac. I hope the fight happens. If it doesn't, you're gonna feel really corny for saying that. Matter of fact, you're not gonna feel corny. You're gonna feel dumb, Northside. If the fight doesn't happen, and I don't think it's gonna happen, you're gonna feel dumb for saying that. You see? Flip. Okay, let me rephrase it. If Tank hits women, he should be locked up and thrown the key away. Is that better? No, it's not better because look what you're saying. If Tank hits women, that's you see, Flip, you don't have the ability to hold Tank Davis accountable. You just don't have it in you. That's okay. That's okay. You don't have it in you, my guy. Let's just leave it at that. Let's go a different route. Tank got in neighbors just like you. Black Jericho. Jake Paul is taking flat for fighting Tank because he's on a big woman box. He's big on woman boxing. No, no, and honestly, that's why I'm telling you that I don't think this fight is gonna happen. That's why I don't think this fight is gonna happen because Jake Paul is heavily involved with women's boxing. You guys know MVP is built off of women boxing, and Tank got allegations involving women. They don't want to be involved with that type of situation. They don't. So you're gonna have tankomaniacs like Northside who's gonna go in and defend Tank Davis no matter what. Yo, Tank Davis could be found guilty and his Kizak is still gonna be in Northside Mezouth. Even if he found guilty. He could be on tape doing it and his Kizak is gonna be in Northside Mezouth. No, there ain't nothing you could do about that. There's people that's gonna be like that. Jay is that joke of the day. What do you tell a woman with two black eyes? Nothing. You already told her twice. Damn. Black Jericho. Like, bro, why you paying this woman beater? So I'm gonna tell you what. I don't want to call Tank Davis a woman beater because I don't have the facts, right? It's allegations. But all I'm saying, when you have all these allegations on you, the court of public opinion is gonna be out. People are going to come to their own conclusions. So it's the court of public opinion and the tankomaniacs. You don't got no proof of anything. You don't got. We already had. That's the third tankomaniac that goes up in here. This is clickbait. This is clickbait. He's lying. Shut your goofy ass up. Flip, I have raised 4 kids into amazing adults. I don't understand accountability. My kids wouldn't be with. I'm not saying that you don't understand accountability, my guy. Like, I'm not sure how your kids are relevant to Tank Davis. That's a star athlete. Your kids and a star athlete is not the same thing. You're their father. You're a Tank Davis fan. That's two different things. Your relationship with your kids is a little bit that your relationship with Tank Davis. You're definitely not willing and not ready and don't want to hold Tank Davis accountable. Because you're saying if he did it, then the key should be thrown away. Well, what do you think should happen for when he dragged that girl out of the basketball court? What do you think should happen for that? You saw him grabbing her by the neck of her jacket, dragging her off the basketball court. People chased them, but he dragged her out of the back to a different room where they couldn't go and the cameras couldn't go. Go ahead, Flip, enlighten me. What do you think that Tank Davis dragged that girl out of public view for? Enlighten me, Flip. You want to take you like these positive assumptions, right? So I'd like to see what positive assumption you're gonna come up with for a video that we saw. Flip, you just want to spin everything I say. I'm not spinning anything because you hate Tank so much, but your problem, not mine. But Flip, what did I flip that you said? All I'm asking you is, what do you think that Tank Davis dragged that girl to the back for? You don't know how to answer that? You don't know how to answer that question? You said, I'm repeating your words that you said. You said, if Tank Davis did it, they should do this and that. Okay, that's what you said, Flip. I'm repeating your word for word. So I'm saying, what do you think should happen for when he dragged that girl off the basketball court and dragged her to the back? And what do you think he did when he dragged her to the back? You don't know how to answer those questions, Flip? I'm not flipping anything. I'm asking you for you to explain it. You see, that's what happens, Flip, when you don't know how to hold somebody accountable. Look, you make yourself look bad. You talk, paragraph, you talk, and you can't even answer a simple question. When asked a simple question, you hate Tank Davis, and this is why. But I'm just asking you, bro, a simple question. What do you think Tank Davis did with that girl when he dragged her out of public view? You don't know how to answer that? You can't make a positive assumption like you're very good at? You see, my peoples, that's what happened with Jay Stradamus. This is what you call easy cooking. Flip is getting easily cooked. He down with the crew, so I'm cooking them lightly. I'm not putting too much seasoning on Flip. By asking him a question, I got him cooking himself. Notice how many times Flip has been in there defending Tank, and I just asked him a simple question about a video that's out there, and Flip lost his tongue. That's how I do my people. It's easy work for me. So since Flip lost his tongue, he could take a 24-hour break. Take a 24-hour break, Flip. It'll take 24 hours for you to find a positive spin to Tank dragging that girl out. When you find that positive spin in 24 hours, you'll give it to us. My peoples, but once again, I want to see what Jake Paul is going to do, how he's going to react going forward. MS got cooked on the low heat. You see, my people, that's what happens when you want to ignore the facts. When the facts are thrown in your face, you look stupid as fuck. You look stupid as fuck. Because you keep making assumptions. Assumptions. Oh shit, Black Jericho. My bad, Black Jericho. I done block Black Jericho trying to block Flip. Give Flip 24-hour break for that goofy shit. He was wrong for that, Jay, and he should be punished for it. That's all you got. He was wrong for that. He should be punished for it. Take 24 hours to have something better than that. You see how long it took you, Flip, to hold somebody accountable? 500 comments later, he was wrong for that. And he should be. You should have said that in the beginning. You wouldn't be in a 24-hour break. Oh, Lace, wrong person. Yeah, man. Black Jericho caught a straight bullet. You want to hold on? We're gonna play another. My peoples, my peoples. My little one wants to watch a different cartoon. Let me switch this up for him. Yeah, man. Black Jericho caught a straight. I'm telling you, sometimes I be like, bah, 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 and you might catch a straight. John Parham, Flip the homie. He just a Tank fan with an opinion. No, he a Tank fan. What did he say? No. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Play stupid. That's the question. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. So John Parham, I don't block Flip. You notice I'll send him on his timeout, but I don't block him. But you know why I send him on timeout, John? Because why would you push a narrative, right? To me, you become a narrative pusher. Flip is a narrative pusher. He want to push the narrative on Tank Davis. You want to push his girls targeting him. Cool, but if you want to push a narrative, when I ask you a question, you got to answer that question. And if you beat around the bush because you want to push your narrative so badly, you're taking a 24-hour break. You going down for the count. So Flip, when it comes to Tank, he a narrative pusher. When it comes to Tank Davis, he got to stay out the conversation because he a narrative pusher. You want to play the video game? John Parham, it's all good. I see what you're saying. Zell, Norma Jr. versus Devin Haney. Who you got? Man, listen, I haven't been able to make a prediction on that fight, man. I'm going to keep it real with you. I am going to. I want to make that prediction. It's just that that's a tough fight, man. That's a real tough fight to make a prediction on. My peoples, let me put a video game for my son. I'll be right back. Quick 1 minute commercial break, y'all. Ramirez. Okay, I understand the main baby moms dragging her out the basketball court, but that shit was a long time ago. And him and that main baby mom are cool. They've been good. Nothing came ever since. So Ramirez, you it seems like you downplaying it. And the reason I say it seems like you're downplaying it is because you're taking the incident and you're isolating it. If you isolate it that way, you disregard that it's been about 4 or 5 different women who's alleged the same behavior. So let me ask you a question, Ramirez. Are you familiar with the fact that those with money beat chicks up and then give them money so that they don't go to court, so that they don't arrest them? Are you familiar with that? Because the last chick that alleged that he beat her up, that was just a few months ago, and then she dropped the charges. Do you think that because a woman dropped the charges, it means that they didn't get beat up? You're familiar with that, right? So you're talking about one isolated case, but bro, it's been like 5, 6 different women who allege the same thing. They're all lying. They're all making stuff up. Where they, the same. Where there's smoke, there's fire. There's a problem there. There's something going on there. To to suggest that every single woman is lying when and look, Ramirez, I'm gonna tell you like this. Why the way you categorize it, you're downplaying it. I'm gonna show you, right? You're saying that him dragging her off the court, that it was bad, but it was a long time ago, right? So you're suggesting that well, it was a long time ago. He don't do that anymore. He hasn't done that anymore, right? Ramirez, I am familiar with that. Mainly women that never been down with you will try you. You see, so You're focusing. You notice how you're focusing on the women, on this them doing something wrong. You see that? So this is all I'm saying, Ramirez. And let's not go with assumptions because look, what and that's what I noticed that people do for Tank Davis a lot. You guys like to assume in a positive way. Look what Flip was saying earlier. Oh, now women be targeting people when they have money. Look what you're doing. Oh, well, rappers and everybody else, women do that. Gold diggers, hoes. You're targeting the women based off of your assumptions, right? But you're not really targeting Tank based off of the facts. Off of the facts, you have one short little line. Oh, well, that was messed up in the basketball court, but that was a long time ago. But watch this Flip. Look how easy it is to show you that you're not looking at it from a point of view of just everything that's going on. You're looking at it as a Tank fan. Then you just want to defend Tank no matter what the situation is. If you don't have a video of Tank beating a bitch up, you will defend him no matter what. And I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you that that's the case, Ramirez. I want you to think about this. Tank Davis drag that girl. Of course, you definitely defending Tank Davis. Why would you bring up gold digging hoes? You're defending them. There's no point in pointing at women. So when you do a whole paragraph pointing at women, of course you're defending them, bro. You are. So I'm not telling you. Look, I haven't said that he's guilty or not. But listen to this, Flip. If a man grabs a girl in a basketball court, in a basketball arena that's full of people, full of cameras, and in front of everybody, by the neck, by the shirt, dragged her out. But not only that, once he had her in the back, he dragged her to a back room. There was a bunch of people, and in front of them, all of them, yo, Flip, yo, chill, 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 relax. Dragged her to the back. Ramirez, you want to tell me what you think Tank Davis did when he dragged her to that private room in the back? You talking about gold digging holes and all that stuff. But Ramirez, all that stuff that you're talking, I don't even want to hear it. I want you to tell me what you think Tank Davis dragged her to that private room for in front of everybody. What do you think? I'd love to hear what you think. You keep talking about women and what women do, but I'd love to hear what you think about what we saw Tank Davis doing. You see how you keep making assumptions about women and how things women do? But I'm asking you, what do you think Tank Davis did on that video where he dragged a girl to a private area? Help me understand, Flip, what you got for that. Because you're making a lot of assumptions about women. Women do this, women do that, women be lying the whole time, women. Okay, am I lying about the video, about what happened in the basketball court? No. So let's talk about what you and I actually know, Ramirez. Because you keep wanting to talk about what you don't know. That's Look, that's why it's easy to cook Tank Davis fans. Because y'all want to talk about what you don't know. You're talking about the women, that women do this and women do that. But we watched the video and you don't want to talk about what we do know. You address it real quick. Oh yeah, that's messed up, but everything is cool now. But damn, you didn't even address Tank dragging her out to the private area and what you think he did over there. So you see Ramirez, remember Flip got cooked earlier and he was stuck, couldn't even say nothing, just stuck. That's you right now. Look, if you look at the comments and you scroll back, you've been firing on all cylinders. But a simple question, Ramirez, if you're asking me what I think about what happened, you basically want me to assume. I will say nothing really happened. Shorty had no mark on her face, nothing. Okay, so Ramirez, I'm not asking you to assume because you've been assuming this whole time. You already been the assumption master. So, okay, so what you're saying is that he dragged her to a private area for what though? You're saying nothing happened. What are you saying? That when he dragged her in the private area, they just both stood quietly looking at the walls? Make an assumption, my guy. You being really good. What do you mean? How are you assuming? You assume that you're saying that women lie all the time. Are you assuming that these women are lying on Tank Davis? That is assuming. You're assuming that these women are gold digging. You're assuming that they're gold digging Tank Davis. This is an ex girlfriend. What is even the point of saying that? So you're bringing in all these other things, but you don't want to talk about the facts, the actual facts of what we saw on video. Why can't you make an assumption based off of the facts? What do you think that he dragged her to that private room for? I'd love to hear your assumption on that. Because all you said was, oh, no, nothing happened. Huh? Damn, that's all you can assume? This whole time you've been assuming about women being gold diggers, women lying all the time, women not telling the truth. What are you going to assume about Tank Davis dragging her to a private area? I'm waiting for your assumption. Just do boxing. Salute, my brother. Bam. In the building. So there you go, Ramirez. It's like I told you. You can only make favorable assumptions, but when the facts go into play, you got no assumption. Now you don't know what happened. You don't know nothing. Now you confused. To assume that chicks is gold digging and they hoes and they lying, ooh, you a master to assume that. But when we watch them on video violently drag a chick backstage at the side of everybody, ooh, you don't know how to make a good assumption on that one. Now you don't know what to assume for that one, right? Damn. And again, to me, nothing really happened. Like I told you, Ramirez, to you not he grabbed a girl, dragged her off a basketball court violently by the neck and by the shirt, and to you nothing really happened. I don't know. I guess to you they went into that room and disappeared into limbo. And then came back out of limbo and went back about their regular life. I just know that we didn't see her after that. And we didn't see her on camera after that. We didn't see her on tape after that. But somehow you found out that she didn't have any marks. But that's what happens. When you're a fan, you're not looking at the situation. You're looking at how can I defend Tank Davis? How can I do it? And you might think like you're doing a good job, but you're not. You're not. You're not doing a good. Everybody that know you be like he cooked. But as a Tank Davis hardcore fan, you're gonna find a way, no matter what. No matter what, you're gonna find a way for to always have a favorable argument for Tank Davis. And we already know this. Look, we already know this. You guys have always done. You guys have a good explanation why Tank ain't fight none of the best. You guys have a good explanation why he didn't have to rematch Lamar Roach. You guys have a good explanation why it was a great idea to fight Jake Paul, even though you've been hating on Jake Paul this whole time. You guys find a way to formulate an explanation to defend Tank Davis no matter what. They'll find him guilty. They'll convict him. He'll go to jail, and you will still sit there and say, "No, they set him up. This is not right. Something went wrong." That's what Tankomaniacs do, bro. That's what you guys do, bro. You defend no matter what. And I know you rock with me, Ramirez. But I'm telling you, when you guys are a fan of a fighter, hardcore, you defend no matter what, bro. Notice, look. Getting you to talk about the basketball court situation is like pulling teeth. It's real hard to get you to go to the point because you talk about everything but the facts. You bring up all these other little side arguments, but go straight into what actually happened. What we know happened. That's just the reality. And look, part of Ramirez, the tanker maniac approach, you use every single strategy. You blame the women. Now you bringing up all the fighters in other situations. You want to talk about everything except Tank Davis, who's the guy right now dealing with it. We dealt with the Devin Haney situation. When was the last year? Whenever it was, we dealt with that. But you just want to talk about everything but Tank, because that's your guy. It's just like the people go in the live. David did it or not. You can't be addressing this. You can't be talking about this. Like, huh? There's fans out there who feel like, yo, nobody should talk about it until the end of this whole thing. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Come on now. What is wrong with you? Do you understand the type of lifestyle that you live in when these women keep coming up with these type of allegations? Do you understand what you're doing, how you live in life, man? That's crazy. That is crazy. But time. All you gonna need is time to see where this whole thing is gonna lead. But I'm gonna put this. You're like the R. Kelly fans. The R. Kelly fans, they saw a video with him doing that to a 12-year-old girl, and they still say he's not guilty. They still say he's being framed. You see what happens when you're an extreme fanatic of somebody, of a celebrity, that you will defend them no matter what. No matter what. Ramirez said he came out innocent. Bro, the dude is in jail right now. Do you not realize that? R. Kelly's in jail right now. Do you not realize that? Is he in jail right now? Yes or no? So Ramirez, in case you missed the point, we already knew the type of person R. Kelly was, but people like you didn't want to accept it. He's in jail right now. Yes or no? You see what you asked me? Did that happen? Yes or no? Is he in jail? Yes or no? That's the right question. Yes, he is in jail. He is who we thought he was. Are you not getting the point? Ramirez, bro, look up Jay Smith. I'm not talking about R. Kelly. Remember, I'm tripping and you talking. I'm much lower. Está bien. But okay, all I'm telling you is that you're like the R. Kelly fans. R. Kelly fans, even after they saw what he's done, they still want to defend him. You saw what Tank Davis done. You still want to defend him. You don't understand that your actions show the type of person you are. You don't understand what type of person is to do that, drag a girl in front of a basketball, in front of everybody. You don't understand what type of person that is. Unfortunately, you don't know how to make assumptions. Your assumptions are not reliable. You don't know how to make them. If you watch a man drag a woman off a basketball court in front of everybody there and drag her to a private area in front of everybody there in public, you don't know what type of man does that, MS. Because Ramirez, obviously you don't know how to make assumptions when they're obvious. You only do a real hard job of trying to make a favorable assumption, and those don't work. Those fall apart, bro. Boston 247, two sides to every story. We don't know what happened before. That's a fact. That's a fact. There is two sides to every story. Yo, the Ramirez, the link is available. I'll send it. I'll send the link. Don't tell me. So look, Boston 247. You're right 100%. There's two sides to every story. But what I need you to understand, 247, that two sides to every story is never gonna keep a man out of jail if they beat a chick up. The two sides to every story is never gonna help you. That's never gonna work inside of a courtroom unless she assaulted you and now it literally is self-defense because she assaulted you first. Yo, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna fly. That there's two sides to every story. And another thing that you have to understand, boxing 247, there's two sides to every story. But when it's five stories or six stories and just yours, because all these different women are saying the same thing about you, it becomes more one-sided to that side. Because then it becomes to look like there's a pattern on your side, especially with the video that's out there already. So when it's time to make assumptions, it's harder to make a positive assumption based on what we already seen. John Parra, MS, I follow you many channels, and here's too many options. By the way, my peoples, by the way, I want to make sure that you guys know boxing, Box Center 2.0, some exclusive content, my peoples. Yo, listen, I'm gonna have to drop that link on y'all, man. Just do boxing. Overall, Tank gotta make better decisions. That's a fact. He gotta make better decisions. And if I was, let me put it to you like this: if I was an advisor for Tank Davis, I would clean house. His whole circle would be out of there. Y'all out of there. We're gonna make a whole new circle, and that whole new circle is gonna involve all these successful dudes that's doing it in the game, that's staying out of trouble, that's doing big things. That's gonna be your new circle. Cause I'm gonna tell you something. One of the biggest problems that people have when they make it, when they get to the top, number one, you wanna bring your boys from the hood. Number two, you wanna roll with the niggas from the block that you used to roll with. You wanna still you gangster, you still gangster. And people have to understand, once you become a celebrity, once you become a public figure, there's no such thing as being a public figure and a gangster at the same time. It doesn't work. It never ends well, my peoples. Never. When you see somebody who think that they're gonna be a celebrity and at the same time be on the other side, so they're gonna be on both sides, the other side always get them out of there and make them lose everything. Look at Adrian Broner right now. Just don't see millions of dollars. He out there scamming people over crap games. So when you think I'm gonna be a celebrity and I'm gonna be a star, but I'm gonna still be rolling with the thugs, and I'm gonna still be rolling like a thug, and I'm gangster, and I'm the realest. When you do that, and you got the team, you got the goons in the squad and all that, then it's only a matter of time before the shit hit the fan. You know why? Because you hanging with the type of people who are never gonna check you for nothing that you do. If anything, they're gonna celebrate you because they know if I contradict, I'm gonna be out the team. I'm getting kicked out the squad. So now you got a team of people who celebrate and yes and everything that you do. And then you become comfortable with it. Cause trust me, y'all don't like to talk about that. Ramirez, you don't like to talk about that. But for Tank Davis to do what he did on that basketball court, that means he feel comfortable acting like that. If he did that in a basketball court in front of a crowd of people, in front of cameras, what y'all think he do privately? How you think he moved privately? And that all came out. Tank did that. You know why he did that? Because he didn't invite that girl over to the game. I don't know if he wanted to take a shorty or what, but he didn't invite her. And she just showed up on her own. So for showing up on her own, grabbed her by the neck and jacket, dragged her off the court, and dragged her into a public room, into a private area, and we don't know what happened from that point on. Cameras couldn't follow. He does that publicly. What does that suggest he do privately? So we can all make assumptions, but I will say Tank Davis need help. He got anger issues. It shows that he got anger issues. MSJ Smith, did you see the Cuban heavyweight Joel's fight last night? Dude can pop, but gassed out and barely pulled it through. Look, I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. He's a very good fighter, super talented. He's had that problem before. It's not the first time that he gasses out. So they gotta work. They gotta work on that conditioning. And conditioning is a lot harder when you're talking about heavyweight. John Parham, like Shaq said, if you bring them, put them to work. That's a fact. See, if you bring people from your team from the hood, give them real jobs. Or you're gonna be the security. Or you're gonna be this. But if you got an entourage or your boys and y'all just hanging out, getting twisted, partying, and you pay for everybody, you supplying everybody. Nah, that ain't it. Because people who's living off of you, they never gonna tell you wrong. They all live off of you. They never gonna tell you wrong. But if somebody working, if they got a real role within the team, they could be like, yo, Tank, can't be doing that. That's gonna cause you problems. It's gonna cause you somebody that can actually be in his ear about these things. They don't look like Tank got nobody that could keep him on track. Ernest Morales, Tank might eventually meet that girl he must have. Then what? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how things are gonna play out because you know, and I said it before. This is something throughout my life that I've seen it many times. A guy hit a girl and nothing happens, you know. Then he hits another girl. She locked him up, but then she dropped the charges, so nothing happened. Then he hit another girl. Yeah, she dropped the charges too. But eventually, you hit a girl, and that's the one who don't want to hear nothing. That's the one who's gonna go home, take a picture of the black eye, call the police, email the picture to the head of the police department, go there, interview with them, press charges, go to every single court date. You're gonna find a girl like that. Go to every single court date. Get a conviction and then give a witness impact statement to make sure that you get the most time. And that girl, she's not gonna want no money. You're not gonna be able to send somebody from the team to give a little 50K or whatever so she could drop the charges. That's not gonna work. Her mindset is gonna be close or your ass going to jail for doing this too. And when he run into that chick, yo, no good lawyer, no denying it publicly, none of that shit is gonna help him. He gonna go to jail. He gonna end up in jail when he run into that chick. So the people that will defend, eventually they're gonna run into a chick who's jammed up and who's not gonna take nothing to back away from the case. If he don't stop, eventually he's gonna find that chick. And the thing is, when he find that chick who goes through with it, that's when these other chicks are gonna come out. Because this one thing that you don't understand. When people got money, things work differently than when people don't. So you have no idea a chick that he may have put hands on and got her pictures with her black eyes, with her nose tucked aside right there, just waiting for the right time to go after her payday. And I'm telling you, he's either gonna change his life around, get rid of the whole team and build a whole new team around him and go in a different, just change his lifestyle, or he's gonna end up landing in these situations again until the shit really hit the fan. Zell, how you see Abdullah and Sam Noakes going both undefeated, gonna be a war? So listen, Sam Noakes, I haven't seen a lot of him, but what I've seen, he's a really, really good fighter. He's not there to lose. You know, he's gonna be super competitive. I don't see him beating Abdullah Mason. I think we're gonna get two young, special, undefeated fighters in that fight. But Abdullah Mason is better. But it's gonna be a good fight. I'm looking forward to that one. I'm really looking forward to that one. Abdullah Mason is gonna earn his belt. He got serious competition in front of him. So he's gonna earn that to become a world champion. No email titles for Abdullah. On Lace, Tank just needs to move to Thailand where the women fight back. I mean, get you, and them lady boys too. Maybe he want to get down with the lady boys over there. I don't know. I don't know, man. Ever since, ever since Floyd said Tank got a little sugar in his tank, it really made me think about it. Really, I'm being real with you. It made me think about it. Like, damn, Tank got a little sugar in his tank. Mm, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's facts. Um, my peoples, listen to this. Just listen to this. If Tank Davis ends up not fighting Jake Paul, what happens next for him? Because there isn't anyone out there that I think he could do an exhibition with and get that type of money, like what he was going to get versus Jake Paul. So what happens next for Tank? Who is he going to fight next? Is he going to go back to fighting boxers? Is he going to fight Lamont Roach? Because I'm going to ask that question to everybody who told me. I'm going to ask that, and I'm asking you guys that question. Ramirez and everybody else in the building, this question is for all of you guys. This question is for all of you guys, my people. I need answers. I need answers. This is a legitimate question that I got for you guys. A lot of people told me that the only reason Tank Davis was not fighting Lamont Roach is because he's going to get the huge bag with Jake Paul. Well, what happens if he doesn't have the opportunity to fight Jake Paul? Should he go now fight that rematch with Lamont Roach? Is it fair to say, if he doesn't get that bag, do you guys want him to go fight the rematch with Jake Paul? Let me know. Let me know, my people. Okay, okay. Okay, Ramirez out of here. Okay, I see. Zell, Sam Nokis is a good fighter. 17-0 with 15 kills. Yeah, he a real good fighter. He looks, Sam Noakes to me looks like the type of fighter that will become a world champion at some point, but this is not going to be his time. It's not it. Abdullah Mason going to handle business. MS, if Tank runs it back with Lamont Roach, he will earn my full respect as Tank the boxer, and probably a lot more fans' respect. Is he going to fight Lamont Roach? Is he going to fight Lamont Roach? That's the magic question. Boxer 247, I got money on Abdullah by stoppage. Shit, look, I know Abdullah's going to win. I don't know the stoppage thing. I have a hard time making a prediction on that one, Boxer 247. I see Abdullah winning the fight. That's a good bet. The stoppage, I'm not sure, but just because I haven't seen Sam Noakes like that, I see some highlights. I know he can box. I don't know how much he can take a shot, though. And we know what Abdullah can do. So I think that's a good bet. That's a good bet. John Parham, boxing, I think, could go the distance. On Lace, yep, he on. Look, I'm going to tell you like this. Tank Davis, the main excuse, or the only excuse, to not fight Lamont Roach was that he was getting the huge bag versus Jake Paul. So what happens is that if this fight falls through and he's not going to get this bag, should he fight the rematch with Lamar Roach next? We wanted to see that already. Very much anticipated fight. I still want to see it. Come on now. On Lace. Josh, let me know if you want to go over there. Ernest Morales. He won't go directly into the Roach fight. Okay, so what direction is he going to though? Because I don't think he's gonna find somebody else to do an exhibition with. There's nobody out there that's gonna make that much money with him. So is he going back to fighting boxers? And then who would he fight? That's the thing about it. Or does Tank Davis still retire? Because he got a lot of money. I don't know how much he invested, but I know he got a lot of money. Tank been making millions of dollars for a lot of years already at this point. So does he retire right now and just invest his money? Or does he fight one of the top dogs? Or, do we get the usual, maybe he get another different 130 pounder to fight him at 135? John Parham, I already am. He's not doing nothing right now, though. I mean, of course, he's not doing anything right now because this whole situation is developing. But I think once, you know, Jake Paul says, yeah, we're pulling out of this, he's going to have to move on in a different direction. Zell, Manny will be a big money fight for Tank. Nah, but Manny Pacquiao, I think he already got something lined up. In fact, Manny Pacquiao is talking to Floyd Mayweather so they could fight each other. So Tank is not getting a Manny Pacquiao fight. Not only look, forget about Floyd, because it looks like it might happen, that rematch. Manny Pacquiao's not stepping in the ring with Tank Davis, bro. He's not doing it. And how do I know this? Because as Tank Davis was supposedly waiting to do his rematch with Lamar Roach, they tried to it seems like they reached out to Pac-Man or expressed interest. And Pac-Man didn't show no interest in that fight. Rightfully so. You know, 40 something years old, man, and you got this kid 30 years old trying to get a fight with you. That shit don't even make no sense. So it's a big money fight, but it's Tank Davis trying to abuse for an easy check. Trying to catch a 40-some-year-old Pac-Man. That's crazy. Big money, but crazy. So Manny Pacquiao didn't fall for it. He's like, nah, I'm good. And it looks like he might fight Floyd Mayweather, which is a legitimate fight. They're around the same age. That's okay. But Tank Davis, if the fight doesn't happen with Jake Paul, and honestly, I don't think it's going to happen, I want to see what that means for his next move. Retire or fight one of the big dogs out there. Zell, I have Manny beating Barrios. It was a close fight and some swing rounds. It was close, but Manny's not stepping in the ring with Pac-Man ever. You can forget about that. He'll never do that. He not dumb. They try to play him. They try to cash out on him. And Manny's not gonna get in there with Tank Davis and get embarrassed and get made to look bad. He not, he's smart. That's like saying Floyd Mayweather step in there, go fight Boots. Floyd not gonna do that. He not dumb. Guy who created his legacy the way Floyd did, he could come back and fight Manny Pacquiao. They're about the same age. But he's not gonna come back and step in the ring with Boots and get pummeled. That's not gonna even make sense for him. Um, but I will say, people are gonna be, you know, watching for Tank and to see what's gonna be his next move. Because this whole time the narrative was, oh, he didn't duck Barrios. I mean, he didn't duck Roach. He didn't duck. He just got the bag. We would all do the same thing too. Okay, well, I asked. We would all do the same. I ask you, what would you do now if you was Tank? Who would you fight? Would you now give Lamar Roach the rematch? I want to hear from the we would all do the same thing too. I want to hear from that crowd. Give me a second. So I repeated, my people. I want to hear from that crowd. The we would all do the same thing too, like Tank. I want to hear from that crowd. You guys will do the same thing and get the bag with Jake Paul. Cool. But if that fight falls through, what would you do? What would you do if you was Tank? Will you now go fight the rematch with Lamar Roach? Because what you guys said is that, well, he not ducking Lamar Roach because he's gonna get the bag with Jake Paul. Okay. What if he doesn't get that bag? Should he go fight the rematch? I would do the same thing too. What would you do? Come on now, my people. I want to know what you would do. Those who would do the same thing. Um, my peoples, I want to give a shout out, man, to everybody who tuned in this morning. We've been on right now for almost 2 hours. 16 likes. Bunch of hating ass motherfuckers. Like, goddamn. Hold on, let me share the link with you guys. By the way, Box Center 2.0, my peoples, already dropped some exclusive content on there. And like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, the videos that drop on Box Center 2.0 only drop on that channel. You will not see those videos anywhere else. Make sure you subscribe. And by the way, my peoples, I already got a show for you guys. That's only gonna air on Box Center 2.0. I have not started airing the show yet, simply because I need 50 subscribers on the channel so that I can start going live. So come on, my peoples, help me get to that 50 so that we can start that show. You guys know Boxing for Breakfast is on in the morning time here on Box Center. Well, there's going to be another show that I'm going to debut, and that show is going to be at night, and it's only going to be on Box Center 2.0. Come on, my peoples, you guys have to check that out. I'm gonna send the link, by the way, so that you guys have the opportunity to go on the channel, subscribe, my people. I'm telling you, I'm giving you the real boxing content over here. Box Center 2.0. There you go, my peoples. That's the live. That's the link right there. Let me see. Let me see. There you have it, my peoples. That's the link right there. Subscribe to Box Center 2.0. Um, Again, the videos that you see on that channel will only drop on that channel. You won't see it on Instagram. You won't see it on Facebook. You won't see it anywhere else, my people. Let's get to 50 subscribers ASAP so that I can start that nightly show. Trying to put you guys on, man. Boxing for breakfast is killing it in the morning, but at nighttime, I'm cooking something special for you guys. There you have it, my people. Box Center 2.0 is only 15 subscribers right now, my people. Come on, y'all. Box Center 2.0, it's already a few videos out. Look, yeah, I'm trying to make this thing come out on the screen. It's already a few videos. The videos that are on Box Center 2.0 will not drop anywhere else. Okay? Subscribe to this channel, my people. Once again, want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in. Yo, you guys got problems. You guys got problems. Like you talking boxing on a Sunday this early, you got problems. You guys are addicted to boxing. Ernest Morales. Tank will fight a named opponent, BC level. Let's see. Let's see. I would like to see him rematch Lamont Roach. I mean, people said the only reason why he didn't do it is because he was gonna get the bag with Jake Paul. Well, if he's not gonna get the bag with Jake Paul, then doesn't that mean that he should go rematch Lamont Roach? Only time will tell, my peoples. I want to give a shout out to Ernest Morales, Zell, John Parham, Unlaced, Boxing 247, MS, JJ Zendejas, and Black Jericho, who I timed out by mistake earlier. And everybody else who tuned in, my peoples, I appreciate y'all. Y'all already know what it is, man. This is Box Center, your favorite boxers, favorite boxing show. Tomorrow, you know how we get down. Boxing for breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be lit. We're going to be on fire. Make sure you tune in, my peoples. And do not forget to subscribe to Box Center 2.0. You're getting that exclusive content over there. There's already a few videos that are up that you won't see anywhere else, my people. Don't be the last to get put on. Don't be the last to find out, like, oh shit, it's already going down over there. Jay over there bringing down the house. Check in, my peoples. Y'all already know, man. Jay Smith in the building. I'm signing off. Enjoy your Sunday. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bam. Peace out, y'all.